How to select which vocabulary words to focus on. Think about it. How would you choose a word? Both teachers and parents need to be selective about which Tier 2 words a child is expected to learn. While there is no perfect way of selecting which words to prioritize, a useful approach is to focus on those words most likely to stretch the child's mind, those that are conceptually difficult but not beyond his grasp, and that he would not likely get on his own. Above all, a word should be relevant and useful. What can teachers and parents do to teach dyslexic children vocabulary? Follow the basic principles. 1. Frequent and varied word experiences. 2. Intense, interesting instruction. It may be possible to introduce 10 new words each week. More usual is 3 to 5 words per lesson, reaching 10 new words in 2 weeks of class time. The required number of encounters with the new word for learning can be as little as 4, but fluency may require as many as 12. The best source of words for kindergarten and first grade is trade books read to children by a teacher. What is the best way to encourage reading for comprehension in dyslexic children? Never lose sight of the major goal of reading, to comprehend what the author of the text is communicating to the reader. To emphasize once again, reading comprehension is the result of a complex interplay of the child's decoding skills and reading fluency in combination with her vocabulary, background knowledge, and reasoning ability. As important as comprehension is to all readers, it is especially important to boys and girls who are dyslexic. Happily, this is an area that dyslexics typically master. As I emphasized early on, though dyslexics have problems decoding and read slowly, these problems can be thought of as circumscribed and surrounded by a sea of strengths in higher cognitive processes, such as reasoning, concept formation, critical thinking, and comprehension. Comprehension deficits are not and should not be included in the state-of-the-art definition of dyslexia. Comprehension is an area dyslexics can and often do excel in to most fully develop the dyslexic student's strong potential in this critical area. It is important to gain an understanding of exactly what comprehension is, along with the known paths leading to high levels of comprehension. Comprehension is often thought of as the process of making connections between new information in the text and known information the reader brings, rather than literal comprehension being the major focus of instruction. It is the inferential and critical levels of comprehension that should be emphasized more and more. Here, the child uses her own background knowledge, vocabulary, and reasoning skills to grasp the meaning of what she has just read. The basic idea is to encourage your child to be an active listener, the forerunner of an active reader. To ensure that all the steps you take are directed toward grabbing his attention and pulling him into the reading. To keep in mind that the goal is for the words and the ideas they represent to take on meaning. To continually look for ways to connect what is happening in the pages of the book and your child are reading to what is familiar or meaningful to your child. What is the most effective way to encourage dyslexic children to write, particularly if they have bad handwriting? For the dyslexic student, direct, explicit instruction is critical for the development of good writing skills. One very effective writing program for dyslexic students is Teaching Basic Writing Skills by Judith Hochman, developed at the Windward School in White Plains, New York. For Hochman, the two primary goals of this program are to raise the linguistic complexity of student sentences and to improve the organization of their compositions. This is accomplished by systematically presenting goals, strategies, and activities for writing sentences, paragraphs, and compositions. Professors Stephen Graham and Karen Harris at Arizona State University emphasize the importance of students learning to use word processing in the writing process. As they say, many schools still use 19th century writing tools such as pencil and paper, even though scientific studies demonstrate that students in grades 1 to 12 show greater improvement in their writing over time when they use word processing to write at school versus writing by hand. We obviously need to move writing instruction more squarely into the 21st century, making it possible for our students to take advantage of word processing and other electronic methods for composing.